Hey,
Hello.
we're back, and no problems tonight, technically.
Yeah, I think it's a first.
Yeah, because last week was a nightmare with that echo.
Yeah, and then there was problems the following week with buffering. We've had a few cut problems with buffering, and then we've had echo and everything else. So,
touch wood, we're okay for tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a calm before the storm. I think we said last time, wasn't it? We found out the Apache coming out, and it's
been a bit quiet this week, which is good. Like you're saying, before the storm, there's been not a lot of tests in Europe. Normally, you get a load of tests around this time. We did have quite a few, but it's all gone a bit quiet.
There was one which has been making huge news in France, and that was the Nissan Skyline. A lot of builders got theirs last week.
Yeah, that started shipping over there. So I don't know the ins and outs, but hopefully that will be out soon here. But yeah, it works out really well because obviously we're just finishing. If you're collecting from the news agents, you're just finishing the Dodge Charger. So to get the Skyline as well would be quite good to get the pair of them, I think. Yeah. I think I'm definitely going to do it. We'll have to see when, but hopefully I'll be straight on that.
Yeah. So how long do you think it'll be until the Nissan Skyline hits the...
I don't know. Maybe next year. I don't know. I'm not prevalent to that sort of info, but I wouldn't... Look, I'll just say this. If it comes out in France, there's a high possibility it will end up over at some point, especially if it's sort of like broad based. So if it's not, like the Citroen 2 CV and stuff like that, that probably won't come out over here because that's more of a French thing. And anything sort of, I don't know, French based. But if it's like Optimus Prime, RoboCop, the Fast and Furious, you could possibly guarantee it's going to come out here at some point.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, the Route Master did quite well abroad, didn't it? As a UK thing, but yeah, I can't see many people going for the 2CV, and there's a few others, weren't there, that which are more.
They did a lot.
We've got the Megazord coming, maybe.
Yeah, maybe that as well. I'm surprised that isn't out already, because. That was I think they're nearly finished it now in France. They must be nearing finishing that. But I'm quite surprised because I thought that would have been out here a while ago, but it still hasn't materialised. But normally a lot of this stuff comes down to licensing. So they've not probably been able to get the license to get it here, but they've got it in France, so that's why it's over there, sort of thing. Maybe. But yeah, I'm surprised. It's not come over yet.
Well, there's a couple of things. This happened to you, didn't it, Kev? There was no tumbler this week in the shop.
Yeah, quite surprised by that. I went down on my Wednesday when I normally do. I picked up all the magazines like I normally do, and yeah, the tumbler was the only one that wasn't there. I did go back down at the weekend. It still wasn't there Saturday. So it might turn up on Monday, but I'm surprised by that. I'm just, Though I do know that there's been some distribution problems within WH Smith News. So I know there's two companies that deal with all the magazines and newspapers, WH Smith News and Monza, is it? Monza or something like that it's called.
Right.
They distribute the newspapers and magazines to all the news agents and that. I know that there was a computer glitch at WH Smith News a couple of weeks ago now, probably a month ago now, that caused a lot of delays with some of the part works. I think that's still causing them a bit of problem. We know that there was a manufacturing problem with the, or a barcode problem, I should say, with the Dodge Charger, and that's why we weren't getting it. And Fan Home did put out a post about that. So it may be something similar like that. So
yeah, because I also heard Fan Home put out a post about Pack 3 of the Enterprise. That'll lead us on to the next bit that you needed to share tonight, Kev. About the Enterprise being in German, and I found it. I think it was it that the Germans got the English version and the English got the German version or something.
Yeah. So on the post it says that the container was labelled UK, and the first lot of the stuff in that container was UK. And then it started going German, and because it was UK, no one really checked it, and they were just like, "Oh yeah, it's UK." And it was vice versa for Germany as well. So a lot of people got the English version after getting German, and so there was a big muck up. It's been sorted now, and apparently, if you request a new magazine, it will now be sorted. Though saying that, there was a few people on the Enterprise group that have requested a new magazine, and it came in German. That happened 3 times, I believe. But I do believe now the problem is solved. So if you request a new one, you will get issue 3 English, and German in German. So
fingers crossed it gets resolved then, because although you can build by pictures, it's very hard to read the magazines if you're English and don't speak German.
If you're collecting the magazine for the content, then it's not worth it's worth getting the English version for that. But the other thing was the Fan Home customer service page. Are you able to bring that up, Mark?
I'm just about to see if I can find it. Yeah,
lovely. So it's the Fan Home customer service page. If you go over there and like the page, everyone go and do that right now. If you're watching this on their channel, go and give it a little like. All the updates for all the builds and what's going on with things like missing issues, delays, if there's been a payment problem on the system, or like Mark was just saying about the magazine, it's all posted in that page, on that page. So give it a little like. This is it here. It's the customer support page. Give it a little like, and all the relevant information about what's going on with your part works. If there, like I said, if there's a delay, the problem with the magazine, it's all posted in there. It's really good reference to have, and it only takes a little click to like it, and you can keep up to date with all the magazines and stuff, what's going on. You can also obviously check under that what's some of the updates that have been posted as well on there. But it's a good resource to have, because like I said, staying with the magazine, like we just said, if there's a problem with the magazine, it gets posted there, so so you're kept in the loop, sort of thing. But go over there, give it a little like. And I
don't know if it's come up on your channel, Kev, but I've put the link in. I think it'll come up on mine, but
okay. It should be fine.
I don't know if it'll go to yours, but anyway, it's there's the link in the chat anyway for anybody that wants to join the Fan Home support group. Support page.
Yes.
And then we've been running the Fan Home main group. Well, not main group. It's a public group, but it's not done by Fan Home. It's just for everybody just to get together and just discuss what's going on, and
and all the information that is put onto various groups and stuff will get posted on there. It's a bit more of a central place than everywhere else, if you know what I mean, because there is a lot of groups. Pacific, obviously, if you're building just the Enterprise, it's good to go into the Fan Home group and the Enterprise group, because you're specifically following the same thingy. So that's why I set up all these groups, So it can get confusing. I'm not denying that. It can be really confusing sometimes. There's so many groups going on with so many builds. But I do it so you specifically know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So you know, you're talking with the same people that are building the same group, like same models and stuff. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is that. The German thing that did happen to me in Horlicks, though, once with the camper van. Me and Horlicks had exactly the same issue magazine in German. Now,
it's the problem at the warehouse, I think.
I only just noticed because I scan all of my magazines in so I can snip out the instructions and put them on screen when I'm building on my videos. But yeah, we had exactly the same thing where we had it in German. It was like, well, unless you want me to learn a new language, then really I didn't do well at languages at school. But yeah. So right, I'll get through some of this chat.
Yes,
what people have been chatting about. So first in at 2:43 p.m. we've got D Harris saying good evening, gents. Evening.
He's very eager. Dee's very eager. I love it.
Yeah. And we've got Richard Coppleston in, says good evening all. Good evening, Richard.
Hi, Richard.
How are you? He also puts, would love to build the Lancaster, but after the Spitfire, don't trust Hachette to get it right. I'm in the same boat because I had the problems with the Spitfire too. It wasn't with the case of during the build or anything. It was obviously after the build. If you go on Horlicks' channel, he goes into more detail about it than ever I did on mine. And he did do a fix for it and everything. So there was, I understand what he's going through, but I think it looks like with the Tumbler, they've kind of learnt the lesson of it, as in, well, we'll give you the electrics first to test them, and then we'll build a model.
Yeah, they've done the same with the Knight Rider as well.
Yeah.
So I think it was over 2 packs. We got all the electrics, then we tested them all, and then what happened is, which will most believe what will happen on the Tumbler is we'll have to pull those wires out.
Yeah.
To fit it, because like I said, I've got the dashboard here, and obviously you test all these wires, and then when you start putting them in the dash, you have to take them all off. So yeah, so I think that's exactly what's going to happen in the Tumbler. We're going to end up taking them all out again.
I did have an idea of a mod for the Tumbler. Now I'm not building it, but obviously I watch like yourself build it.
Yeah.
And I saw the remote for the Tumbler. And I thought it very much looks like the X-Wing remote. What I mean by that is it's god-awful. It looks so plain, like an old TV remote.
You haven't seen the Alien one. So the Alien one is even more blocky, and it's just so basic. Like you're saying, looks like the 80s style TV remotes.
Well, couldn't there be? I saw this with the X-Wing remote. This was, you could get it on eBay, but you could only get it from Germany.
Right.
And what it was it was a sticker skin to go over the top of the remote, which then had like the branding of the X-Wing and Star Wars and everything. Stick that on, and then you know which button does what, and it looks so much better.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just think a sticker over it that just looked better than just a plain, really bad remote.
I'm still surprised that they haven't picked up on Horlicks and sort of done an app where it's just where someone hasn't just done an app where you can sort of plug and play, sort of just plug in something that turns, so you have an app on your phone that operates all your part works, and you just select the part work you wanted to select, you select it on the app, and then you do all the lights and everything else on it.
Kev, R2D2.
Yeah.
And I said more. That was a bit of a problem when we were building that originally.
Yeah.
We didn't get the app. And then the app didn't work. And then
it worked on mine quite well, but yeah, I just don't know why. The problem with the app was they sort of left it and it needed updates, and it took a long time to get updates for it. So I remember there was a problem. They've updated it now, but there was a problem with people getting it on newer devices. It wouldn't load up or it wouldn't work because they hadn't updated it. I know they've updated it now, but there was a problem at the start. But yeah,
that's why some of them might shy away from doing it a little bit after what happened with that one. But it's possible, like you said, Horlicks has done it. Todd Marvel Phoenix, he's done his, with his Enterprise, which absolutely amazing. It's possible to do it. And I know the Route Master was an absolute fantastic mod when Horlicks Bluetooth that, and
exactly,
unbelievable.
So I'm just surprised that the technology is there. It's not new. It's quite old. It's cheap enough to do. Where they haven't just installed, like you'd get a fan home app, say, and you click on the fan home app. You click the build that you're building, and on that app you have sort of all the instructions for all the builds. You can keep an eye on all of your stuff, but not only that, all the videos are on there as well. But not only that, it also gives you the option to control the lights from it via Bluetooth or something.
I think a lot of it though is a lot of some people might not be tech savvy like that can download the app, and then there's integration issues between Android and Apple.
Yeah, I'm after Christmas, I'm building my train set. And obviously, they've just brought out this new HM7000, which is Bluetooth enabled. So a bit like you put in a soundboard in it, they come pre-installed now, and you just work it from your phone. It has been problematic. So it connects and unconnects. So your train's running and it stops because it's become unconnected. So like you're saying, I think there could be a connection problem if you had something like that.
And I think also, I think they were saying that it's easier to set up an app on an Android device than it is to set it up on an Apple device as well. So I think the technology is there, but it's just not there enough yet. But I just think a nice sticker that would go on a remote that tells the buttons it does and does some of the branding, like the Tumblr branding, I think it would be amazing. Like I said, there was one for the X-Wing, but you had to order it from Germany. And in the end, I've got a label maker. I ended up just printing out little labels to which each one did.
Yeah.
In the end, because there was nothing on it. It was just a plain remote.
Well, the Tumblr one has what it does, I think, on the buttons.
Right.
They're not plain. It does tell you what they do.
I think it just needs a bit of
jazzing up.
Jazzing up. You're looking at a fantastic, iconic car. No, I'm not into the Tumblr, but what I've seen is, it looks a fantastic, iconic car with a 1970s TV remote.
Yeah.
So, right. So let me go through. So next we've got Stephen Belcher says, evening all, evening Stephen. And we've got Spider Sprue in saying, evening Mark and Kev, evening Spider Sprue.
Evening Spider.
Then we've got Dave Matt Build says, evening Mark and Kev and everyone in Chatland. Evening Dave.
Hi Dave.
And Steve Belcher says, evening Mark and Kev, evening Steve. And then we've got Horlicks in.
Hi Horlicks.
Evening Mark, evening Horlicks. And then Horlicks says, evening Kev. Right, okay. And then we've got Dano's Universe in saying hello.
Hi Dano.
Hi Dano. And then we've got Geordie Dave saying evening everyone, evening Geordie. And then we've got Neil Radcliffe in saying good evening Mark, Kevin, all in chat. Evening Neil. We've got Todd from Marvel Phoenix says hello and good evening all, evening Todd.
Hi Todd.
And then we've got Terry Martin says evening all, evening Terry.
Hi Terry.
Right, hang on. Right, so David Palmer says, evening everyone, I am now addicted to playing RoboCop Rogue City.
That's the new RoboCop game.
Right, I saw yours was it Halloween you did the Ghostbusters game?
Yeah, I'm going to start doing that again, I think, because that got quite good view, so yeah.
I quite enjoyed that, but that took me back to being a kid again, watching the films, So we've got David Phillips in saying, evening gents, evening David.
Hi David.
And we've got Burgess in saying,
hi Burgess.
Hi Burgess. Burgess says, give me that R34. So I take it is that the Nissan Skyline?
That's the Nissan Skyline, yeah.
shows how much I really don't know about cars.
That Skyline is so cool. It's got the neon lights around it. I've got some ideas that I want to do for it as well. So
it looked nice with the Dodge Charger. It looked nice.
A nicer car than the Dodge Charger, anyway. I mean,
straight drag strip, you know.
Oh yeah, I mean the Charger would beat it every time, but it's a street car. You know, it takes me back to when me and my wife got together. We used to go to car cruises and stuff like that, and it's all the sort of stuff that you'd see on the car cruises. So. Right.
Okay. Next we've got Spider Sprue. Sprue and Blue says, "Oh, come on, Pete! It's 24 watts and only thumbs." So, evening, Sprue.
Evening, Sprue. Thumbs up, guys.
Got Steve131 saying, "Is that a young D Harris I see?" So, evening, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
I'm just trying to go. Sprue, really? Hi, hot stuff. LOL. Right. Okay.
Is he on the beer a bit too early?
Yeah, could be. Right. So next we've got Ian Campbell says, "A very good evening." Evening, Ian.
Hi, Ian.
Hope you're well. I think that's by where not on Kev's, so he's on mine. He's D. Right. Try and get through this. Oh, it's jumping again.
Oh.
Horlick says, "We had one of our VW in German too, Matt." Yes, that's what I was on about. I think I've still got it somewhere. I just thought I didn't throw it away in case I want to learn German, but yeah, we did. I noticed it because I was scanning, but Horlick didn't notice it, and he was like, "Hang on a minute, better check."
Hang on, that's German.
Yeah. Ian says, "Mark, send me some details on that mod." Kev, you bet, because you're going to get the remote, aren't you, Kev?
Yeah.
So could you send in details? I just think, because I'm not building it, but I just think it and really nice cover for these remote controls. Yeah, definitely.
Some of them are really plain. The worst one so far has got to be the Alien one. It's really, really basic.
Maybe then you could speak to Ian, because when that comes to an end, people might be after that skin.
Yes, definitely.
Control. So yeah, I think there is something to be done there, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
And, you know, it's like I said, I know people in the UK were ordering these for the X-Wing from Germany, and they sold out within about 24 hours. It was that hard to get. So yeah, definitely. Burgess says Lego has apps for instructions and controls.
That's where I got the idea from. Because you download the Lego app, you tell it what set you're building, and it'll have all the instructions there and the controls to control it if it has controls. I was just thinking it should be something we should be doing with our models, really. So it's all centralized, but like you're saying, not everyone is as tech savvy. So
for me, I like a good magazine that I can have at the side of me that I can focus in.
I mean that's where I think Agora are missing out on. I think having something physical that you can read, and it's not on a phone. I mean, they just do the build instructions as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do flick through these magazines, even though I get rid of them. I do flick through them and do read them. They're quite,
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like having a magazine.
Well, yeah, I think at the time people were saying to me, "Well, you just go off the pictures." I'm like, "Well, I do read them, I do like to read some of the articles."
I think as we go forward, I think we're going to see sort of less and less of the magazines, especially they've digitized them on Fan Home already, so it won't be long before they stop sending out the magazines.
Yeah.
It saves on cost, waste, and everything else. So it's an environmental tick, but also a tick for them saving money and stuff like that. So I can see it happening sooner rather than later.
Ian says the Tumbler remote needs to be the shape of the Batman logo. Well, it would have been better. I think it would have been better.
It would have been nicer. Optimus Prime remote comes in the shape of the Autobot logo.
Yeah.
The remote. So they're listening, but it takes time, I suppose, to go through. But
and I just think there's a way these things can be quite easily done with, nice sticker over the top of them, and there you go.
I reckon if you took the control unit and the buttons and were able to incorporate into a bat signal or into the bat symbol, you could just 3D print one, surely. And then it's just a simple of just replacing.
Yeah.
Like for likes, just taking it out of the blocky one and sticking it in a 3D printed one.
I'll let you talk to Ian about that, because
I'm giving ideas.
I know it's brilliant. It's a brilliant idea, but I don't have the remote.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you could even do it for the other ones that need remotes as well, in the shape of the logo or something, but doing it as it's got enough room to put the original circuit board. So literally, all you do is get two halves and then you stick it all together.
I don't, even though I'm not building models that other people are building, I still watch them because I still enjoy watching people build the models.
Same with me, yeah.
And then I just look at them and thinking, God, that's awful. Or not awful as the model, but some parts where you're thinking that could have been done a heck of a lot better. And really thought out a bit. The Spitfire remote, we all know, the problems with the Spitfire, but the remote was really, it was boxy, but it was really, really nice because it had an all, logo on the front of it, and it really looked the part. But things are coming out that just, they don't do the model justice at all.
No, even the Terminator one's nice. Even has the Terminator written on the bottom. It's silver. But you're right. We've had some really blocky, ugly things, like you're saying, where a little bit of thought might have gone into it. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. Spider Spruce says, I've started my next 4 pylons of the Eiffel. The optics is a nightmare, but it will look good. I saw that today, actually.
Yeah. The optics are a bit of a pain on that model by the looks of it, but I've seen it fully built. It looks absolutely amazing. It's the color changes and everything. It looks great.
Yeah, I think it'd drive me potty, would that be, because of tiny little screws and tiny little nuts, and drive me. I think you've got to have a lot of patience to do that.
Well, I still have nightmares over the Rootmaster with the rivet screws. The little tiny red rivet screw. Jesus, I can't remember how many times I hurt my wrist doing them and everything.
Right.
Do you remember? The rivet screws on the Rootmaster? There was just hundreds all the way around it. You had little beads as well. I still have nightmares now because there's so many.
So next is Will's Workshop says, good evening all. Just finished gluing myself to my mallard, ready for release tomorrow.
Yeah, he's still on the mallard build.
Oh, it's the old Hachette.
It's the old Hachette one, yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing that you can that someone out there still had that lying around unbuilt.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's great because we can get to build them again, but it just amazes me that after all this time, there's still a whole set sitting somewhere.
So I'm going to have to share this. Todd just sent me some.
Go on in.
This is, It's kind of done a thumbnail.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
That is really good. I like that.
So do I. That's gorgeous. Thank you, Todd.
Thank you, Todd. Yeah, Jesus, that's really good, that is.
Yeah.
Love that.
That is amazing. Wow.
That is really, really nice. Yeah. Thank you, Todd.
Yeah. Thank you, Todd. I'll have to change it after.
Yeah, we'll have to use it.
That's when I was looking over there like that. It was just like it come up on that screen. I was like, "What the heck?" Yeah, thank you, Todd. That's really nice of you.
Yeah, brilliant.
Right. Right. Oh, D saying is on both. The link you have in chat didn't go to Kebs. Right. Okay. Yeah, because I can do it onto mine, but I can't do it onto yours because you're.
That's all right. Don't worry.
Right. Johnny says, got a link for that page customer support. Yes, I put that in. I can put it in again though. 2 seconds. I'll put it in. There we go. Right, so that's been put in again. Spanish Proof says, I think it's all about budgets, and I think a remote was an afterthought.
Yeah, a lot of this stuff comes down to budget. A lot of it does.
I think like the Ecto one though, that would have been nice done with a remote, but you know, it's down to budget.
The Route Master would have been better one, I think, with a remote as well, just because obviously when I built it, we got all the figurines, and some of the buttons are in the cab, and it's incredibly tight in that cab with the driver. I'm trying to push the buttons in there as well. It would have been so much easier with a remote control.
That's why Horlicks did the remote.
Yeah, and I also saw, was it? I can't remember if it was Dave or someone else who did the buttons on the outside. Like they did a base for it and put all the button controls on the base. I have seen it.
That was
Horlicks. Well, I just remember it was a long time ago. That build was a long time ago now.
He started off with the buttons, and then we were doing an Arduino show at the time, just an introduction. And one night we did do a remote control, and I basically dared him, challenged him. Or can't you do one for the Route Master? And a lot of toing and froing, but he got there. Amazing work.
Yeah,
he got there in the end and managed to do it. And with the help of Ian, it's been able to be produced and sent out and stuff. So yeah, and then he did one for the Rossi as well, a Bluetooth remote for the Rossi bike. So yeah, it can be done. It can really be done. So yeah, but no, Horlicks did. He's still got the buttons on his base as well. They still work.
Oh right, okay.
But yeah, so yeah, it was Horlicks that just started with it and just went with it, and yeah, amazing work. What can be done? It's way beyond what I can do.
Yeah.
Next we've got Paul Jordan in saying evening Mark and Kev. So evening Paul.
Hi Paul.
Will's Workshop said, I wouldn't mind seeing an opt-out for magazines and saving if you opt out.
I've always said this ever since, even when Eagle Moss was about, and that the magazine is a freebie. It costs them pence to make, and if they took it out, you wouldn't see any savings. The magazine's a freebie. Effectively, the magazine you need for the instructions. That's the only reason you really get it. They throw a little bit of information in there, but effectively, it doesn't cost them a lot, and we wouldn't see any difference.
Well, look at it like this. We're doing the Optimus Prime, and you get both. You get a magazine, and you get online instructions as well.
Yeah, like I said, I think the magazines are there because that's how they do it in France. But I think they have done that with the Alien. So the Alien came out with the magazines in France. Over here, it's not. It's all upload only. The whole magazines are there, by the way. You can read the whole magazine, all the instructions and everything. But they've just digitized it. Fan Home have done the same. Like I said, it wouldn't surprise me. This time next year, we don't get any magazines. They're all just digitized. But we wouldn't see a change in price.
Well, if I remember correctly, D'Agostini was the one that Model Space was the one that started it off, because the camper van didn't have any instructions originally. They were all online.
Yes.
But now, when they re-released it through D'Agostini Collectibles, they've done a magazine for it, but no folder. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember they did it with the Millennium Falcon. Actually, they done an online instruction thing, but a bit like Hachette is that they started to not update it. So they got to like issue 67, and people were on like issue 80, and it still hadn't updated on D'Agostini's website. Hachette do the same. They do if you look at their build videos, they do a build diary, that their own ones, but they only do half of the build, and then there's no videos for the rest. And D'Agostini did the same with the instructions. It was a pain to chase it.
That reminds me, there was a little over the week, a bit of a mistake of the DB5.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yes. Yeah, so everyone started to get their DB5, and I think it was in stage 4 or 5 when they're fitting the door. They've put the wrong door. They haven't put the door cover on to attach the door to the frame, obviously, the little hinge on it. And you've had to go back in to pry it back open and put this little cover on, which they forgot to do. It's an oops moment, but one that was probably sorted. But yeah.
It was solved very, very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
And the instructions were updated very, very quickly as well. So give hats off to fixing that quickly.
No, Agora, for fixing that. But yeah, there was a little bit of an oopsie moment there.
Yeah. Todd says, this is the thing for the thumbnail. While you guys been talking today, I whipped up a YouTube thumbnail for you guys if you're interested. Definitely.
100%, yeah.
Yeah. We've got Scott in from Building with the Boys. Good evening, gentlemen. Hi, Scott. Right, hang on a minute. Right, try and get through this. Todd says, I can remove the episode text so you can add your own for each stream if you want. Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
That would be, brilliant. Yeah.
Definitely. Will's Workshop says, Kev, I still have a part bill O-gauge Scotsman 2. Also, Harshette, life just got in the way for those models, unfortunately, but it means I can bring it to the channel. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
I mean, we talk about it all the time. I still can't believe they haven't done an updated version. I mean, the closest we got was the Hogwarts Express, but I still can't understand. We've had lots of other stuff. We're having aircraft now, helicopters. We haven't had an actual steam train. Obviously, I had one in Germany based on a German loco, but like I said, a Mallard Flying Scotsman, something that's British here.
Yeah.
It's screaming out for it.
That's me with the link again to the Fan Home customer support page. And Burgess says, I'd love a remote for the Ecto 1. Yeah, I would too. I mean, really, in theory, all it needs is the top bits that I'd like to be, to have on. But I do have Ian's blue light mod in there, which really
there's a lot of part works that could benefit from a remote. I don't think the Enterprise comes with one, but could benefit from it. The best remote I've got so far has to be this one for the Knight Rider. So this is the remote for the Knight Rider, and it controls everything on it. And I'm thinking that's the best one we've had so far because it's like a functioning watch as well. Obviously, it was part of the TV show, so it actually works just like the one in the TV show. So that's pretty cool. So
kind of like thought about it instead of an afterthought.
Yeah, someone's actually gone, hang on, we can actually control this from the watch that he used on the show, and it can be a working watch as well. And there's been some real thought put into that. So, yeah.
Benjamin Ben asks, may I ask what kit is the DeLorean? Well, started with Eagle Moss and now it's Fan Home. But you can't get from issue 1 from Fan Home.
Yeah, I did it through Eagle Moss back in 2017, I think. A long time ago now. But I still have it. I still have it on my shelf. It's a frustrating build at times. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But it's great when it's built. It's a fun build.
I always say this is I was lucky in the sense of I didn't do the first run of the DeLorean. I came onto it quite a few years later. But then I was able to look at all these sort of mistakes and the little upgrades and little techniques that people were doing. So I managed to do that with mine, and it's turned out the way it has. So, and it's I think I'm about 4 issues away from nearly finishing that to the number 2 car, and then we get to work on the number 3 car. So
there was something that they never it never came with. And obviously, after watching Knight Rider, Back to the Future at the weekend, was the lightning rod. It never came with the lightning rod.
No.
It came with Mr. Fusion, and we get the hood flux capacitor as well, but it never came with the lightning rod.
No.
Which surprised me, because I would have thought that would have been quite a nice add-on to have.
Depends which car they modelled it on. Because there was a few of them, wasn't there?
Oh, there was loads, quite a few made for the film. And then the one you're building is actually based on a show car that people took around and to shows and stuff. And you, like I said, you can tell that because it's an automatic, has a wing mirror in the inside. It has buttons behind one of the seats with a speaker. Obviously, the official car never had any of that stuff. So you can tell it was a show car that they've scanned.
There's a few problems with it, with the DeLorean. The first run, remember, it had an automatic gearbox and needed to be a manual gearbox. It came with the rear view mirror, and there was no rear view mirror in the film. There was a couple of other bits and pieces, like the Christmas tree and the flux capacitor, which could have been better, but we were told it was down to budget. And the hinges for the wheels from it.
Yeah, the wheels, the hinges for the doors as well.
Yeah.
The installation of the engine. There was a few problems with it. Yeah, but once you get round those sort of niggles, it's an okay build.
It's a fantastic model. We've got Go For It Painting in saying hello. So evening, Go For It. Right, so Will's Workshop says missed the opportunity for a new Scotsman release for its Century. Oh, goodness.
Yeah, 100%. I reckon that if they'd gone for that, it would have tallied up really well. I know Hornby went all out for 100 years of Scotsman, and they did a lot of stuff, Flying Scotsman up and down the line and stuff. But yeah, they missed a massive opportunity there to capitalise on it. Yeah. But I still think it would do well because you're not going to be sort of bringing in the normal modelers. You're also going to be looking at all the train enthusiasts as well building it. So they would all come on board where they may not have done a part work or a model build, but this one would, if it was the right size, the right look. I mean, especially now with the one that they did in Germany, which has the running track, so the wheels actually spin, light box lights up, smoke coming out. It makes all the bells and whistles as well. I mean, yeah.
I'm sure Horlicks said there was one that Model Space did, and the wheels kind of spun on the track.
Yeah, it's called a running track. So it looks like a train track, and then has little wheels. You can buy them to test trains out from Hornby, and it's like a little test bed it sits on, and you can test it running. Like obviously it's not running anywhere, but yeah, I think it's out in Germany. It's based on a German train, a black one. I can't remember off the top of my head what it is. But the Hogwarts Express had the same features. So it had the running track where the actual wheels spun, and it had like the firebox and smoke as well. It also had a carriage where it had Harry in and stuff like that, and it all lit up. And I was thinking they missed a beat on it, but it, like we've mentioned before on the channel on the video, that it came out at the wrong time. So it came out when COVID was wrong. Came out with all that stuff about JK and all that. So it hit at the wrong time. But yeah.
Burgess says, I still haven't started on my fire truck yet. Got all the packs already. Wow.
Yeah, that was the Agora fire truck, isn't it? Yeah, that's the I know some people criticize that because of the size. Because it's quite a small size, though it's got a lot of functions. I know a lot of people were like, oh, hang on, if it was bigger, like 1/8 scale.
Yeah.
So I think it was 124, I think.
But I saw what Todd did to his fire truck, and that was amazing.
Yeah.
He proper modded all the lights and stuff on that. That was unbelievable.
It's amazing that it's a fire truck that's based on a New York fire truck that was originally released in Italy.
Yeah.
And never released anywhere else. And then obviously Agora came along and started releasing it. But it's really surprising that a New York fire truck did really well in Italy, but nowhere else.
Strange.
And then obviously Agora called it out.
There's a lot of Italian Americans in New York.
Yes. Yeah. I'll tell you, there is one that I'm surprised no one's picked up yet, or maybe they might do, and that's the Ferrari Transporter. So that's the part one, which is the truck, which has the Ferraris inside it, and all the the trailer opens up, lights up, and you can have all the workbenches in there and stuff like that. I know Panini, because that's the company that released the Ferrari
F40.
F40.
Yeah.
It was the same company that released that in Italy. They also done the Ferrari Transporter, but Panini done that one and haven't done any more. So I'm surprised that no one's picked it up, because obviously it's there. And I know Ferrari sell really. Oh no, what's going on?
I'm back. Sorry, I think something glitched.
Yep.
Can you hear me?
I see it all go black and I was like, hello, what's going on there?
Don't go there. Right, I think I'm back. I'm sorted. Internet must have dropped or something. Oh, don't tell me it's done it again.
No, I'm okay.
Right, am I back? No. Knew something would go wrong.
There's always something that happens. Is it all right now?
I'm going to try.
Are we back?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah, we're back.
Okay, we're all back. Yep.
Yeah, sorry about that. Must have been on my side.
There's always something. There's always something.
Oh no. Right.
I think it's to do with StreamYard at the moment. They're having a bit of problem.
Yeah. Go for it. It says, don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you. Yes, please.
Yep.
Will's Workshop says, DeLorean is looking good, Mark. Mine is currently looking like it's about to go off to 1885. Video queued up on release. Yes, he's going to do the hood box. So, yeah, can't wait to get started on mine. And it'll finish sooner than the original run as well, because we get 5 every month instead of 4.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I was thinking that about the about Optimus Prime as well. We're going to be finished before the end of next year, I think.
Yeah. So.
And RoboCop. Oh yeah.
Holly says, thanks. I had a lot of help from Marvel Phoenix too. He's much more clever than me. Just look at his Enterprise. Well, yeah.
Lovely.
Amazing. Burgess says the full-size DeLorean had plenty of problems too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a horrible car. Horrible car.
So, Todd says, if the fire truck was 1.8, it would have been 6 feet long.
It would have been huge, but I know the size was a problem for a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know.
Will's Workshop says, I think Kevin's glitching. I thought it was me that was glitching.
Oh, was it me? I don't know. It all seems to be. The gremlins have gone now.
Yeah, D says both of you glitched slightly. So it must have been, yeah, I think it's StreamYard.
It's StreamYard. This is StreamYard.
Burgess says the transporter is going strong in Italy, probably about 2/3 done, if not more.
Yes, it's nearly done.
On social media, I'm not seeing a lot of it being done though. I saw a lot of it when it came out, but
it's all gone a bit quiet. But the last pictures I saw was the cab was sort of done on the truck, and they were working on the trailer, so there was a lot of wiring going in on the trailer. It's got a lot of lights in it.
Yeah. We'll have to wait. Spider Brew says near Christmas the gremlins are out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Will says you didn't drop at all, Mark. Kev, however, stopped. Right.
Okay.
And then Burgess says, I think Kev needs new batteries. It's technical difficulties. Yep. It's just the way it is.
It's just the way it is, I think. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, just one of them. Yeah, can't help it. But
it happens.
Yeah, I think it would be nice to see a Ferrari transporter, but whether it'd be Phantom, wouldn't it? I don't know.
I don't know who it would come under. I don't know. I know the company that done it, who does it in Italy, is the same company. It's Panini. It's called something else.
I know Panini had problems though. They had major problems with the Ferrari F40. A lot of people were complaining that the instructions made no sense whatsoever. What was supposed to be going on? Then there was supply issues through COVID, where people didn't receive parts for a long. I mean, not talking just a couple of months, a long time.
Yeah.
Some people sent theirs back to them saying they didn't want to build it anymore because of what had gone on and wanted a refund. And then it kind of went quiet, and then people finished the models, but you didn't see it getting finished on YouTube at all. People just finished them.
Yeah. I know there was problems, and COVID caused a lot of problems and everything else. But yeah, I'm wondering whether they've just gone with the problems that they've had. They're not bringing out anymore. But I always thought the transporter would have been a good choice because it's a truck plus Ferraris and all of that. So yeah,
maybe I don't know. Maybe at the moment with the UK there is a lot of competition.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just not viable for them to do it in the UK, unfortunately. But
it might be one of those ones that turn up next year that's unexpected. You know what I mean? Because we do get a lot of builds like that where they just sort of turn up and we're like, oh, I didn't realise that one was going to get released, and they just sort of appear. It's happened a few times, so it could be one of those ones that just appears.
Yeah. So yeah, strange. Spiders Brew says, I have the NECA Marty McFly figure for my DeLorean. Wrong scale, but it somehow works.
Yeah, it's very close. They also do Ghostbuster figures as well. Once again, they're a little bit off on scale, but actually they look really well with the Ecto one.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm surprised that no company's come along and sort of gone, there's a market for 1/8 scale figures. They have done 1/8 scale Harry Potter figures, which didn't go down very well because most people like the 1/8, 1/6. So look like the Hot Toys, and everyone likes the 1/6 scale. When a company called Star Ace came out, they started doing 1/8 scale figures. And I don't think they did very well, but I know that there is some out there. I think they did the Terminator, the T800, and I know they did Harry Potter ones at 1/8 scale. But I'm surprised that a company hasn't decided to do 1/8 scale figures, so they would sit with the cars that we've got. Maybe that's why we're getting an upscale. So a lot of models are now coming out 1/6. We just had the Ford Mustang 1/6 scale come out. So yeah,
I mean, the Ecto one's 1/8, and that is as heavy as.
Yeah.
I don't know, I wouldn't like to drop it on my foot. Imagine 1/6, how heavy that's going to be.
Yeah, well, they do. Hot Toys do the Tumbler, the DeLorean, all in 1/6 scale, but I don't think they're die cast. I think they're all plastic.
Right.
So obviously on the weight. I also know that they do a 1/6 scale Ecto one as well.
Ah, okay.
Brazeway or something like that it's called. I can't remember the name of the company, but they do a 1/6 scale Ecto one because they brought out the 1/6 scale figures, and then they done the Ecto one as well. I don't think many of them were here in the UK due to shipping costs. I think it was more US companies that got them, but they did do a 1/6 scale Ecto one. It's huge, by the way. I mean, mega big.
Right. Okay.
But they did do one.
Well, we're nearly coming on an hour. Would you believe?
Oh yeah. I know it goes quick every Sunday, even with the glitches.
Hang on, I'm gonna have to share this one. Todd's been at it again.
Oh,
here we go. Did it a different way. Think you like this better? Let's have a look. Some of the graphics he does for people are amazing. Let me share screen, share window, share that one, share. Come on, share. Probably asking too much of it now. Here we go. There we go. Wow.
Yeah, cool. I love that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's all the companies as well that Panini, Pucker.
Wow.
Procar, I should say.
Purchase. Yeah. Wow. Thank you, Todd. That is really much appreciated. Really is. Todd also says the fire truck was designed by Granny Partners. Some people who did the EMDB5, right? So the Eagle Moss DB5.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he says, I missed your companies on the first one. Right, I'm with you. Thank you, Todd. You know, that's brilliant. Thank you.
There is a lot of companies about that do these part works, but manufacturing wise, I think there's only about 3 or 4 companies that actually manufacture all the part works for everyone.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now, just before we go, I just remembered this one actually. I've meant to mention at the beginning. Subaru.
Yeah, I think they're doing it as a full build. IXO are doing it as a full build. A lot of people have said it should be a part work, as in monthly. But it is just down as a full build. It's good that it got the opportunity to build it, I suppose, as a full build though. But yeah, Subaru Impreza.
Yeah. So that's another one I've seen this week.
Yeah.
So Burgess says the transporter is at stage 128, so that must be 140 build.
I think it's 150, I think. Or it might be 140. It might be around that sort of figure. It's quite a few ways to go yet. But it has been going a long time. I mean, saying that, the Dodge Charger we're building at the moment, I started this in 2020.
Yeah.
It's only 110 issues, by the way. So
yeah.
I know there was a lot of problems because of COVID and stuff like that, but I'll be glad when it's finished because it's been a long slog.
I think I started the Ecto 1 in 2020. So yeah, it's been a while, but I think I'll be glad when it's over, only because I can close that page of Eagle Moss behind me.
Yeah.
And I think that's what at the moment is I'm wanting to do. I just want to close the book on Eagle Moss, get through it all, and just say, right, I did get a fantastic model out of it in the end. And yeah. So, but right. So yeah, we're definitely coming up on the hour now.
Yep.
It's been fantastic. Have you got anything coming up this week on your channel, Kev?
So this week is double week this week. So we're going to have double Optimus Prime on Monday, double Knight Rider on Tuesday, hopefully double Tumbler build, because obviously this week's one went there, so I'm doubling that up. Double Disney Dollhouse, double Robocop, and then double Enterprise build. And then we're back to Sunday again.
Wow. Me, it's normal releases on the normal days, and then we're back to Sunday again. So yeah. Maybe next Sunday won't be Ecto 1 because I've had payment taken for it, but they haven't sent it yet. So, and it can take 2 weeks. And that's another thing as well, guys. December, things are going to get delayed on artworks with deliveries because things don't work in December.
It's starting to get really busy now. Mail traffic 2-3 weeks ago was very light. This week has been incredibly busy. I don't know what's happened. I know Christmas is coming up, but some switch has kicked in and we've had double this week than we've had the last 2 weeks. So yeah, there is more coming through the system now at Raw Mail. So yeah, it's going to cause a few delays, I think, coming up to Christmas and stuff.
it's like it every year, so we just
we
just have to live with it, unfortunately. Right, I'll go through these last little bits of chat and then we'll sign off. So Burgess says, if only I had 1k euros spare for that Subaru.
Yeah, so I think it's €190. So
Will's Workshop says he started DeLorean late 2020. I wasn't far behind him, I don't think, because we were quite close when we were building it.
Yeah.
So D Harris says, night Santa and your little helper. Night D.
Night D.
Will's Workshop said should have had the Knight Rider build up this week too. Right. Excuse me, my throat. Ian Campbell says night all.
Night Ian.
Spider Sprue says night all, back to the Eiffel Tower. Great stream, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Building with the Boys says good night, gents. Night, Scott.
Cheers, Scott.
Burgess says I only have 10 issues of the Ecto 1 here. Gonna finish in 2035, probably.
You'll get there, don't worry.
Stillman Belcher says great stream, guys. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Will's Workshop says Black Friday stretched to a whole month. Yeah. Burgess says night all. Ian says last night of 25% discount of Partworks code Modvember. So get your orders in, guys.
Yeah, get over to Partwork Upgrades, get your orders in.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Jordy Dave says you're losing Kev, Mark, am I? Must be glitchy.
I'm still here. Where am I going?
Yeah. He says Subaru not far from the model years ago, maybe apart from the electrics. Yes, because there was the RC version.
Yeah.
Dave Matt Bill says night, Mark and Kev. Great stream as always. Will's Workshop says good night all. Great stream as always. Thank you, guys. Marvel Pick says good. Don't forget to like the stream all. I'll get there.
Yeah.
And Todd says also night, guys.
Right. Cheers for that, Todd.
So good night from me. Thank you everybody for tuning in. This stream is really getting popular, which is absolutely fantastic. That's what we wanted it to be. And it's just get it off your chest. And if you want to come on, message me, email us, and we'll be happy to have you on the show. Come and share your opinion. So basically, I've been Mark.
And I've been Kev.
And we'll catch you all next week, guys. Bye.
See you later.